We are meant to call from out of the past stories, strange and weird.
Tales of mystery and terror by radio's masters of the macabre.
Stories of the supernatural, the supernormal, dramatizing our fantasy, the mystery, the unknown. We tell you this frankly, so if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginary plays, we urge you calmly, sincerely, to turn off your radio now.
This is The Horror. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me this Saturday. We're going to hear from Nightfall this week. Canadian series produced between July of 1980 and May of 1983. 101 original episodes. Our story today is from December 12th, 1980. It's titled, Where Does the News Come From?
In the dream, you are falling, lost in the listening distance, as dark locks in. Nightfall. Good evening. Tonight, we'd like you to make certain all your sources are absolutely accurate. The play by James D. Morris is called Where Does the News Come From?
Will you stop dragging?
Limousine for downtown, sir?
Yeah, please. I have a confirmation here somewhere.
Oh, network car. Yes, sir. Right over here, sir. Take your ride?
What's that? No, thank you. I'll keep it with you.
There you are, sir. Network charge, the head office on Seneca.
Right.
Would you like the radio on, sir?
No. No, thank you.
International?
Sorry, what was that?
International. You, just come in on an international flight?
Yeah, Rome.
Yeah, thought so. A lot of internationals arriving now. You can usually tell, style of clothes, your luggage, the way you look around. Now, you take the guys from Montreal, they get in around 8, read the paper, tip a buck, and that's it. Never say a word. Hey, wait a minute. I know you. You're David Winston, the correspondent. I watch you on World Report. Hey, isn't that something? David Winston. You, been to any good wars lately?
Huh? Sorry, I don't quite...
That's what you do, isn't it? You go to wars. Like, where was I saw the other night? Peru or Cyprus or something?
Lebanon. Last week was Lebanon.
Oh, yeah? They got a war?
Everybody's got a war.
Huh. So, what are you doing in Toronto? You covering the war between the mayor and the city council? Maybe we're going to attack Alberta, huh?
No, nothing that dangerous. Just checking in with head office.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I bet things are really jumping around there. What with that Derek Richards guy walking out in the middle of the show the other night? I didn't see it. I was working, but my wife saw it. Said it was pretty freaky. I bet he was drunk, eh? I mean, to walk out and just leave people looking at an empty desk, he must have been drunk. Something.
No. It was probably just a hell of a lot of pressure.
Pressure? What kind of pressure could he have? I hear he was pulling down $125,000 a year just for sitting there every night for half an hour reading the news. Man, I'll tell you, he'd give me that kind of pressure any day. You, gonna be heading back for Europe?
I'm not too sure.
Ah, well, when you're ready, here's my card. You just call this number and ask for Al, huh?
Excuse me. Can you tell me where I can... Pardon me, but where do I find... Hey, just a minute.
New in town, big fella?
Oh, can you... Stella? Stella Parsons! Oh, my God. What in the hell are you doing here? Let's see, I left you in Saigon, a pretty bar and 3-star doxy house.
Oh, Red Butler, how you do go on.
Ah, Stella, you still have that incredible way with words. Which, by the way, is what I'm supposed to be having with Martin Grant right now. Words, that is. Where does His Eminence hide out in this news hive?
Look for the largest rock.
That's what I like. Professional respect.
That man's a waste of skin. He was bad enough when we were all out in the field. There he was just sleazy. Since they made him head honcho of World Report, he's graduated to sneaky sleazy, with power. Try the corner office. Oh, hey. By the way, I hear via the office tom-toms that they've got big things planned for you.
I'm not sure still. What's the story on Derek?
Well, they put him away, and they're not telling anyone where. The full story's worth a couple of hours scotch. I tell you what, be at the press club later. I'll run it down for you.
You got it, baby.
And don't you forget it, baby.
Remember the correspondent's motto. Clean body, clean mind. Take your pick.
Yeah, I never was any good at multiple choice.
See you at the club.
So, look, first after the chat, I hadn't heard myself think. So anyway, when it happened so fast and we needed someone virtually overnight, the first name that came to mind was yours. Sit down. Good camera presence, reputation, authority, credibility. You got it all, David.
Gee, thanks, Marty.
Look, David, let's get something straight right from the start. You and I never hit it off. You went for all the gung-ho wraparound trench coat stuff with the cannons and mortars in the background. I always believed in-depth analysis worked better.
With the tinkle of ice cubes and the fizz of soda in the background.
Look, you're here because I head up the World Report team. And I head up World Report because I can put personal feelings aside and pull together the elements that make us the #1 news team in this country. I don't like you. I don't like you, your methods, or your attitudes. But in my opinion, you can make a valid and viable contribution to the package. That's the only thing that's important. That's something to remember every time you pick up your check. I'm the man who signs that check.
That's a nice, tough management speech, Martin. But it's all based on the assumption I'm going to take your anchorman slot.
Alimony payments to 2 ex-wives, a son in an expensive private school, and then there's the lease on that apartment in London occupied by a certain young lady, Miss Turnbull, I believe. Oh, you'll take it, all right. And I figure 125 grand a year buys me a few concessions, so just lay off the sarcasm, okay? You deliver, and I'll deliver. Bottom line.
As an in-depth analysis, that's not bad. When do I start, sir?
As soon as we can get you down to the studio. I want some run-throughs with the team to get you into the format. We're already running promos we pulled from some of your field stuff. I want you on air tomorrow night.
That's fast. I hope to get to see Derek before I...
Leave him out of it. He's a dead issue. Let's go.
Camera 2 coming up in 3, 2, 1, cut.
Now, you can raise the knife.
Can you look at the temp?
No more lights, please.
Camera 2, can you turn it left, please? Hold it. Bit more.
I'm getting a boom shot on.
Oh, that's it. Thank you, Camera 2.
Lighting, will you try a bit more film on the desk, please? No, sorry, that's too much. Now we're getting a bounce off the desk. I'll be back. Shading, please.
Camera 1, slow zoom in on
Yes,
3,
yes, thank you.
2,
Camera 3,
1.
hold for the
That's
graphic,
nice,
please.
thank
Releasing 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
I think we could use a music pad on the segment from the 7 o'clock nightcast for the speeches.
Riot footage
library.
coming up in
Give
10,
them some headset
9,
feed so we can see if you
8,
can talk and listen at the same time.
3, 2, 1. Very nice. Thank you.
Looking good.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, he's looking good. Shannon, see what you can do about his hair. Maybe you can get Michael to layer it or something. Just get rid of that shaggy look.
Oh, I think it makes him look like a teddy bear.
And I want him to look like an anchor man. While you're at it, set up some time at Nyman's and pick out some suits for him.
Me pick him out? Why me?
Because you got the good taste to sleep with the director, that's all.
That's not good taste. That's job security.
Ooh, bitchy, bitchy.
Come on, people, settle down. We gotta have them ready for tomorrow night. Shannon, what do you think about something in brown and beige with an orange accent for the set?
Let's try it. The blue and gray sure isn't doing anything for him.
Never did anything for Richards either.
Who said that? Get this and get it straight for the last time.
This team does not discuss Derek Richards. Derek Richards does not exist. Now, let's work on his sign-off.
Okay. David? David, can you hear me?
Yes.
We want to work on your sign-offs, so let's run down a few. How's about trying, and that's it for World Report, I'm David Winston. Or, if you prefer, I'm David Winston, and that's it for World Report. Unless, of course, you have something of your own you'd like to try?
Does it matter?
We're just trying to set up a style for you, David. Let's try, and that's it for World Report, I'm David Winston.
Right. And that's it for World Report. I'm David Winston.
Again?
Again, please, David.
And that's it for World Report. I'm David Winston.
And again.
And again, please, David.
And that's it for World Report. I'm David Winston. And this is Stu.
Looks like our little David has a sense of humor.
Or worse, it could mean he can think.
Let's hope not. We all know what happens to anchormen who can think.
Well, if it isn't the Phantom Flasher of High Farm. When'd you get in, David?
Just this morning. By the way, Wilbur, where's my 20 from Nicaragua? And that was in Yankee dollars, too.
Hey, David! Good to see you, my man.
Hi, Jenkins. How you doing?
Step aside, chaps. Here's Hal, the conquering hero.
Oh, you can call me Nathan.
Hey, let me buy you one, David.
Maybe later. I'm looking for Stella.
She's back there, over in the corner.
Thanks. Catch up with you later.
Wow. Look like a porcupine, too. Haircut, mustache trim, manicure. Hardly look like the old scourge of Saigon we all came to love.
And some of you from great distances, too. Boy, I'll tell you, I'd rather backpack in Niagara and carry a cameraman through rice paddies than go through the last 5 hours again. I've been getting lessons on how to walk, how to talk, how to sit, how to
make it look important when you sign your name at the last item while they roll credits.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe now I'll find out what the hell all those anchormen write when they do that.
Probably something clever like, how come nobody can spell around here? I can't take any more of this crap.
Or isn't this a hell of a way for a grown man to earn a living?
How would the nice grown man like to get me another scotch before he sits down?
Johnny Walker?
Yeah, black and double. Oh, and while you're at it, get Ernie to put my tab on yours.
You got it, sweet talk.
Look out, gang. Here comes Muscle Mouth, the newest star in the news firmament. Put you around, David.
Oh, no, you don't. The last round I bought for you guys made the Korean War debt look like a petty cash voucher.
Oh.
Ernie?
Yeah?
A double black Johnny and a single Cuddy, and put Stella's tab on mine and run it, will you?
She's got it up to $16 now.
For the week?
No, for the night. She's already had for doubles. For the doubles. Everything fine over here?
Oh, I think I'll have another.
So you got yourself an exclusive.
What's that supposed to mean?
The way you're putting away the sauce. You must have got word prohibitions from him back.
You haven't even been back a full day and already you're starting to sound like starchy shorts grain. It'll take at least a day before you lose your nice little human qualities.
I didn't think it was possible. But hell, now he's so straight, crows could fly test flights over.
Oh, now he's management. A big cog in the big news machine.
Oh, war is hell. And I, for one, am beginning to regret leaving.
Don't kid yourself. You're still in it. Only now it's a ratings war and meaner than anything you ever covered. Look, David, why don't we just have a few drinks and a few laughs, and then you can go back to the peace and calm of guerrilla fighting in Lebanon.
I think I'll hang around for a while.
You took it.
I took it.
David, I'm not kidding. Why don't you just put on your little trench coat and get back to something you know before it's too late?
I always thought you were a fun drunk. I thought we were going to have a few drinks, then talk about Derek.
Let me get another double into my system. I have to be halfway down the slope before I get to him. Oh, there's Pete Martin heading for the bar. Get him to pick up a couple.
Come on, slow down, Stella. I want to make out every other word at least. Stella?
Supporting Scotland's primary industry has become my new hobby, and I must say I'm becoming very good at it.
What happened? Daddy die and leave you a bank? This is a pretty expensive hobby for a working girl.
They can afford it.
Who's they?
You want the big news machine, of course.
I'd bet her down a fast quarter or two so you start making sense.
Take it from me, Davy boy. You're better off not understanding. Derek started to understand, and look what they did to him. Locked him away with a bunch of loony tuners.
What about Derek?
Let's just stick with me for a minute. I understand. So they let me sit here saucing myself silly every night so no one will take me seriously. And the moment it looks as though someone's listening to me, good old Ernie over there makes a call and someone comes to take me home.
Stella, you sound like you're running a couple of bricks short of a full load.
That's what they want people to think. That my best interviews are with empty bottles. And I'm only kept on the payroll for past performance in the field. Makes them look considerate and humane. I could blow their goddamn doors off if I wanted.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
I know.
Know what?
I know where the news comes from. They pay me $30,000 a year to sit around sucking up scotch and keeping my mouth shut.
That's a tough way to drink scotch.
Davy. Take the word of an old flame. Someone who still cares. Get out before they get you. Listen, before you go, get me another double, will you?
What the hell is this? Straight hour Richards cracks up on air. And all I've heard since I got here is crap like news team, news machine, the package. I'm sorry, Stella, but I've had it.
Okay. Here it is. You think you're here because you're a good newsman, right? Wrong. You're here because the computer wants you here. The computer that told them you had all the things they needed. Looks, delivery, presence. But most of all, credibility. Without that credibility, everyone could see right through them and their game.
What game?
The news game. Can't you see it, David? They make it up.
Look, Stella, I think that...
That's just it. You think. And that's what's going to get you into trouble, just like Derek. And Derek found out. Derek saw the little black and white dog one too many times. You see, they don't count on anyone really watching the news, least of all the people who are doing it. Look what happens in the studio. The anchorman is reading ahead to the next item. The switcher is queuing up the next film clip. The control room is concerned with timing. No one's actually watching. Not even the people at home. They're eating dinner, arguing, talking to the kids, reading the paper. No one ever really watches. It goes in one eye and out the other. That's how they get away with it.
Who the hell are they and what are they getting away with? And what the hell's this about a little black and white dog?
What they're getting away with is complete and total manipulation of the news, and the little black and white dog is what made Derek realize it.
I'm sorry, Stella, but...
Listen to me, David. Just listen. Because I don't have much time. Derek was doing the news one night, and an item came up about a flood in Ohio. You know, the usual crap. Ohio floodwaters broke through sandbag dikes today, killing 27 and leaving thousands homeless. For some reason, Derek was watching the film when the camera came in on a submerged house, and there, on the peak of the roof, with all the water all around, was the little black and white dog. Derek recognized the dog. He'd seen him before, last year, last flood.
For God's sake, Stella. They didn't have coverage of this year's flood, so they used a clip from a previous flood. Don't be so naive. You know as well as I do that it happens all the time, especially out in the field. You can't get it to cover something, so you buy the other guy's outtakes. We've all faked coverage. Hell, when I was in Bangladesh, they had a PR firm come to your hotel room with 16 and 35 mil clips, so you didn't have to take a Jeep 30 miles into the bush. Everybody's done it at some time.
No, baby. This is more than that. Derek went down to the library just out of curiosity. Asked to see the flood file. He needed clearance. Clearance from Martin Grant. He asked Grant. Grant told him it was none of his business. Derek didn't like Grant any more than the rest of us, so he just dropped it. But then he saw the hijacked airliner.
With a little black and white dog standing on the tail.
But I'm telling you, it's dangerous. Now, the hijacking was supposed to be taking place in New York. Derek noticed the registration number on the fuselage. A month later, there was another hijacking in Buenos Aires. Same plane, same number.
That's impossible.
It's not impossible. There were 2 more hijackings over the next 3 months. It was the same plane every time.
Nobody would buy that. Buenos Aires doesn't look like New York, and besides, even the dumbest viewer would catch on to that.
Not if the plane was shot from different angles. One airport at night looks just like any other airport at night, and you never see a daylight airline hijacking. It's always at night. In Cuba, in Algeria, in Liberia, you're a newsman. When were you allowed into any of those countries? David, I'm telling you, everything's there. Computer coded, just waiting for the right buttons to be pushed.
Okay. Just what in the hell do you think I've been doing out in the field for the past 25 years? I've been there, Stella. I've been there, so have you.
And every time you filed a report, it was used and then carefully fed into the computer for future use. For a future date when they will control the news completely. When they can manipulate and control the public. People all over the world. When they can make them believe anything they want them to believe. Total control.
So what you're saying is that Kennedy wasn't assassinated. Watergate never happened.
No. They're not there yet. But they're close.
If you really believe this, and if this is what Derek believed, then the two of you belong in adjoining rooms.
Derek had proof. He worked on it for over a year, and he kept everything in a file in a safety deposit box. He knew they were starting to suspect something. That's why I ran out of the studio.
Now you've really lost me.
The safety deposit box was in a bank in a little town about 60 miles from here. The same night he ran out, that bank was broken into, and every safety deposit box was opened. Shannon told him to stand by for a special item that had just come in. An item on the robbery. He knew we had to get out of there. Don't you understand, David? They robbed the bank. They found out where he kept the book, and they went after it.
And that's bloody well.
David, they're capable of anything. They'll kill. It's too important.
Your car's here, Miss Parsons. Al's waiting outside.
Oh. I'm sorry, Dave, but I have to go. Look, it was really lovely seeing you again. Talking over old times. Maybe...
Al's waiting, Miss Parsons.
Stella, you can't just... Who's Al?
The network chauffeur, Mr. Winston.
Yeah, you met him this morning. He picked you up at the airport.
But I thought he was...
You thought what, Mr. Winston?
Nothing. Nothing at all, honey. Stella, are you sure I can't...
Oh, I'll be all right, David. Al takes very good care of me. Good night, David. Good night, Ernie.
Good night, Miss Parsons. Have a pleasant ride home.
Okay, this is it. Here's your revised copy, David. Everyone in the booth asked me to tell you they're all rooting for you up there.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank the gang for me. Tell them I'll do my best.
I will. Good luck, David.
Thanks again. Well, hi, Marty. Any last words of wisdom?
That depends on how you take them. I'll give it to you straight. Stella's dead. She had an accident driving home last night. She Shouldn't have been driving in her condition.
Are you crazy? Stella? Stella wasn't driving last night. Your man, Al, he drove her home. What the hell is this, Grant?
Just a few words of wisdom. Stella was driving. We don't have a driver named Al. Stella was drunk. She had an accident.
And Derek is in an institution.
Derek is in an institution.
And not allowed visitors.
No visitors. Now, go out there and do your job. We're counting on you. You've got a good future here, David. And there's a lot at stake. I'll see you when you're through.
I think...
No. You don't. Now just go out there and do your job. Just think about the job. We'll take care of you.
You'll be here when I'm finished?
I will, David. I'll be right here. Now, get going. The chairman, please. It's all right, sir. We read him correctly. He's ours.
You have just heard Where Does the News Come From? By James D. Morris. August Schellenberg was featured as David Winston, with Peggy Maughan as Stella Parsons. David Calderisi played Martin Grant, and other members of the cast included John Stalker, Elva Mae Hoover, Frank Perry, and Trish Allen. Our recording engineer is Jan Wright, with sound effects by Matt Wilcott. Our production assistant is Doris Buchanan, and the series story editor is Earl Toppings. Nightfall is produced and directed for CBC Radio by Bill Howell.
That's it for the horror for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to visit relicradio.com for more old-time radio. And if you'd like to help support this and all of the shows, you can donate from the website. Your support makes it all possible. We've got some downloadable sets for certain donation amounts. So any amount is always appreciated. Thanks to those who have helped out. Thanks for joining me today. Be back next Saturday with another episode of The Horror.
Strange Tales.
RelicRadio.com presents tales of the strange and bizarre, the weird and the wicked. Stories not necessarily of the supernatural, but of the unnatural. Join us now for Strange Tales, featuring radio drama at its most mysterious and unusual. This is Strange Tales. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me this Sunday. We're going to hear from Suspense this week. The series had aired from 1942 to 1962, 20 years, over 900 episodes. Our story today is from March 15th, 1945. It's titled Cricket.
Now, the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California presents Suspense.
Tonight, Roma Wines bring you the extraordinary child actress, Miss Margaret O'Brien, co-starring with the incomparable Dame May Whitty. Suspense is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness in entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant as Roma Wines bring you a remarkable tale of suspense. And with the strange tale called Cricket, and with the performances of Margaret O'Brien as Little Florence, and of Dame May Whitty as her grandmother, Mrs. Edney, Roma Wines hope indeed to keep you in suspense.
We have to move from this house, Cricket. We have to go away. I guess it's the noises and the things she hears at night. She's good, and I love her, but she doesn't understand. There's nothing in this house to frighten anyone, nothing that is bad. Listen, Cricket, there'll be no one here but Anna tonight. And tonight you said you'd come. But I won't be here, Cricket. Grandma's taking me to Golders Green to stay with Aunt Collar until we find another house. Couldn't you come there too, Cricket? It wouldn't be hard to find. No, I guess you couldn't. I guess this is the only house that you can come to. Is that because you died here, Cricket?
Florence?
Yes, Grandma.
Are you ready?
Yes, Grandma. I was just saying goodbye.
Please, Florence. You promised not to worry me anymore.
Couldn't we stay here tonight? Just tonight?
No, dear. Come now. We mustn't keep the cab waiting.
All right, then. You go on ahead. I'll be right down. Goodbye, Cricket. I hope you'll understand.
Hello? No, this is the maid. Mrs. Edney isn't here. No, she's staying overnight in Golders Green with her granddaughter. You're welcome. Goodbye. Who is it?
It's me, Anna.
You shouldn't come in without knocking like that.
I heard Mrs. Edney was gone. Have you finished with the cleaning?
Not quite. You're early.
I was worried.
Has there been another robot raid?
No, not that. I didn't like you being here in the house alone. Anna, I want you to tell Mrs. Edney you're not coming back after today.
But, Charles, I can't
If Mrs. Edney chooses to live in this house, that's her affair, but... Have you heard it tonight?
Have I heard what?
You know what I mean.
I've heard nothing.
The neighbors have.
Oh, if they minded their own business, they wouldn't hear so much.
They said it was bad.
I'm not interested in what they said.
Well, you should be.
Why should I be?
Because of all the things that goes on in this house... Oh, what was that?
Who is it?
Anna?
Oh, Mrs. Edney.
I thought you'd gone. Oh, good evening, Charles. Good evening.
I thought you were staying the night in Golders Green, Mrs. Edney.
I am. I left Florence there. But I have to meet the real estate man here, Mr. Peters.
Then you are going to move?
Yes, Anna.
Oh, I hope you're not moving because of the stories that have got around.
Oh, don't you worry about me. You'd better go now, Anna. Take your umbrella. It's raining.
If you need me, you'll drop me a line, won't you?
I will. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mrs. Edney.
I suppose you don't hear it now, Anna.
Charles. The neighbor's dog's at it again, Mrs. Edney.
The neighbor's dog. You know, there isn't a dog within miles of here. That must be Mr. Peters now. It ain't no dog anyone's ever seen, and you know it.
Well, good night, Mrs. Edney.
Whoa, hello there.
Oh, Mr. Peters. Good night, Anna. Charles. Come in, Mr. Peters.
Oh, I'm so sorry to be so late, but I've been to Brighton.
Have you good news for us?
Well, I saw the house. It's going to take a lot of work before you'll be able to move into it.
Oh, no. I'd planned so on being out of this house.
Oh, couldn't you stay here until...
I can't stay in this house another night.
But, Mrs. Edney, after you went through all the trouble of remodeling it after the bombing last year, it seems a pity that you'd be leaving it for something so far less attractive.
My granddaughter isn't well.
She hasn't been since her parents were killed at Coventry.
Yeah, I know that, but I should think she'd be more comfortable here than that. Let's see, what's that noise upstairs?
We hear it too.
It's someone up there, eh?
Mr. Peters, would you do me a favor?
Certainly.
Would you come upstairs with me?
Of course. What is it?
Follow me. Do you see anyone in the hallway here?
No, I don't.
This is the guest room. Do you see anything unusual?
No.
I'm sorry to have to do this.
Well, not at all, but,
This is my bedroom. There's no one here, is there?
No, there isn't.
Let's go downstairs again. I could show you through this whole house, and you'd see nothing. No one.
Yes, but, Florence...
She isn't here. I took her to her aunt's this afternoon.
Well, I distinctly heard noises. Oh, but perhaps they came from a neighbor's.
Mr. Peters, the noises you heard a while ago, did they sound as though they might have come from a neighbor's?
No. They were in this house, all right. I wish I could help you, Mrs. Edney.
I must ask you to say nothing about our moving to Florence. She's against leaving this house, but I know it isn't good for her to stay here.
I understand that. I smell something burning.
Yes, it's always like that. First the noises, then something burning.
But there is something burning.
You can search the house, you'll see no one. Nor will you find anything burning. I know.
Are you certain there's no one upstairs?
You saw a while ago.
Yeah, but I heard it so clearly, and that smell...
Would you like to go upstairs again?
Yes, I'll go alone this time.
Who is it?
Florence.
Who are you?
I'm Mr. Peters, remember me?
Yes, you're the man who wants us to move out of this house, don't you?
Well, I looked for another house for you because your grandmother asked me to.
Don't look anymore.
Well, if you say so. I thought you were at your aunt's.
No.
Yeah, Florence, that burning smell... Have you been playing with matches?
No.
Well, don't you smell something burning?
Yes.
What is it?
It's him.
Him? What do you mean?
Oh, you wouldn't understand.
Now, you must tell me. You wouldn't want the house to burn down, would you?
The house won't burn down. Mr. Peters, would you please go away?
Very well. Good night, Florence.
Did it hurt much, Cricket?
Mrs. Edney, your granddaughter's upstairs.
But she couldn't be.
Are you sure she wasn't up there a while ago when we both went up?
But you saw. I showed you.
Yeah, you didn't show me your granddaughter's room.
I'm going upstairs. Please wait.
Certainly.
What are you doing here?
I couldn't stay at Aunt Collar's any longer.
How did you get in?
I came in the back door through the kitchen.
Why?
I was afraid you'd send me back again.
How did you get here?
I was given a ride. It was raining.
Oh, you're soaking wet. What have you done with your shoes and stockings?
I left them by the oven to dry.
Well, put on your pajamas and go to bed. I suppose we'll have to stay here tonight. I'll say good night to Mr. Peters, and I'll be up later.
I've come back, Cricket. I knew you couldn't go to Aunt Collar's, so I've come back here. You don't have to worry anymore.
Peters?
I'm out in the kitchen. Would you come here for a moment? I found these shoes by the oven. They're scorched.
Oh, well, Florence must have put them to dry.
Yes, I know you've been through a great deal lately, but I'd suggest that you take yourself in hand.
But, Mr. Peters...
Well, I think you've been imagining things. You insisted there was no one upstairs.
But there have been other times.
And are you sure that if you'd investigated them, you wouldn't have found an explanation like tonight?
I know what you're thinking.
I'm only trying to help you. This burning smell which you thought was so mysterious.
You've been very kind and patient. I'm sorry to have kept you so late, Mr. Peters.
Oh, not at all, but I do wish you'd reconsider your decision to move.
Yes, I'll reconsider. Thank you.
Call me in a few days, and if you still want to move, well, I'll see that...
Very well, Mr. Peters. Good night.
Good night. Why don't you complain to the neighbors about that dog? They've no right to...
But you see, there isn't any... Thanks again for everything. Good night.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you as co-stars Dame May Whitty and Margaret O'Brien. In a moment, we will present the second act of Cricket by Mel Dinelli, which is Roma Wine's presentation tonight of Suspense.
Between the acts of Suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. Elsa Maxwell is recognized internationally as an authority on gracious living. You will be interested in something she said the other day about wine and wartime food rationing. Listen.
I find that people who know one simple secret of serving delicious meals aren't bothered much by food rationing. That secret is to enjoy good Roma wine with food. For instance, I recently had dinner with some old friends. The main dish was kidney bean casserole. And to give this simple food a delightful party flavor, my hostess served cool Roma California Burgundy. Everyone remarked about its wonderful bouquet and aroma, and about the way that good Roma Burgundy added enjoyment to our plain meal. Such added enjoyment is one of the reasons why more and more people serve delightful Roma wine.
That's a grand suggestion from Elsa Maxwell. So why not try Roma California Burgundy with your dinner tomorrow night? You'll enjoy its tart piquancy, its fruity, robust taste, the happy result of selecting luscious wine grapes from California's choicest vineyards, guided to perfection by the ancient wine-making skill of Roma's famed wineries. Good Roma wines never vary. They're always enjoyable, yet cost only pennies a glass. Remember, more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. R-O-M-A, Roma Wines.
And now, Roma Wines bring back to our sound stage Margaret O'Brien as Little Florence and Dame May Whitty as her grandmother in the second act of Cricket, a play well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I'm letting you stay, Florence, but just for tonight. Now, you must promise me to go to sleep.
But I'm afraid I'll miss him if he comes.
Oh, you must stop talking like that.
Do you know why he might come tonight, Grandma?
He's not coming, dear.
Oh, yes, he is. It's just a year that he's been gone. A year's an awfully long time for someone that you love to be gone, isn't it?
Try not to think about it, dear.
Please, Grandma, tell me about it.
Oh, no, dear. I want you to go to sleep.
Please, Grandma, tell me just once, and then I'll go to sleep. Tell me how brave he was. Please?
Oh, Florence. Well, then will you promise to go to sleep?
Yes, I promise.
Very well. Very well. Once upon a time, there was a little girl, a lonely little girl, and a dog.
A very brave dog.
Yes, a very brave dog. It was during one of those awful raids when we sometimes thought none of London would be left standing. I'd put you to bed, in this very room, and I'd gone downstairs to lock up the house for the night. And the awful bomb seemed to be coming closer and closer. I was standing at one of the windows looking out when I heard the screeching whistle very close. Then there was a splitting crash. The door seemed to go out from under me. And the next thing I knew, I was out in the street. There were crowds and confusion. I'd been hurt. I couldn't seem to move. But I knew you were still in there. I tried to get up, but they kept telling me not to, that I'd hurt myself. The house was blazing by now. And then I remembered that Cricket was in there too. And I prayed that somehow, some way, he'd do something. And then we saw you. You were dazed, and Cricket was tugging at you, pulling you towards the doorway. He was leading you straight to safety. You were almost out, both of you. Suddenly, the flaming doorway crashed. It looked as though you'd been buried under the doorway, and for a moment I thought... But then we saw you coming towards me. It was Cricket who'd been trapped inside the house, and we could hear him. The poor, brave dog. There was nothing we could do, for the whole house seemed to fall in after that. And so the little girl was saved, and her best friend gave his life for her. Why do you make me tell you about it, Florence? It only makes you feel worse.
Oh, no, Grandma. It makes me see how brave and wonderful he was. Grandma, do you hear?
Shh. You're imagining things. It isn't good for you.
Listen, Grandma. Charles hears it, too. I heard him telling Anna about it.
Please, Florence.
And that burning smell. Mr. Peters says it was my shoes.
But it was, dear.
Then what was it all the other times?
Florence, if you want us to stay in this house, if you don't want us to move, you must promise to stop talking like that.
It's him. When the burning smell is strong, I can almost see him sometimes.
Florence, you're feverish, being out in the rain. You've taken cold. Let me feel your head.
He can't come to any other house. I know.
Now, Florence, I want you to lie quietly and not talk any more. I mean it this time. I'm going downstairs, and you're to be asleep when I get back. Do you understand?
Yes, Grandma. Did it hurt much, Cricket?
I know it's late, Mrs. Edney, but I thought as long as Charles said things to make you nervous, and you being alone here and all, well, I thought it was the least I could do.
What is it, Anna?
It's about the howling, Mrs. Edney. Charles said there was no dog in the neighborhood, but it seems there is. He belongs to the Hitchfords up the street a ways. They're renting the place, and the lease doesn't allow them to keep pets, so they've been hiding the poor animal out in the barn all tied up. He's what we've been hearing. We found out on the way home.
Oh, thank you for coming back. Florence is ill again. This might help to straighten things out.
Is she bad, Mrs. Edney?
I'm afraid so. I've called the doctor.
Could I help?
Oh, if you could stay here tonight.
I've made plans to, Mrs. Edney.
It's foolish, I suppose, but somehow I am relieved to know there is another dog in the neighborhood after all.
I know what you mean. I wouldn't for the world have let Charles know. But I was a bit jumpy myself.
If we could only convince Florence now.
Have you taken a temperature?
No, I was going to. Listen.
Yes, it's a robot raid. They've been expecting one.
The lights.
It's probably got the powerhouse.
What do we do?
Don't be nervous. Have you candles?
They're upstairs. Why, it's so dark.
Here, take hold of the banister. Just follow me. Careful of the landing now.
Do you smell something burning?
Yes. Probably has something to do with the lights going out.
Look, Anna. That light. Do you see it?
Yes. It's Florence's room.
But all the other lights are out.
Oh, don't get excited. We'll go up and see. Come on.
Florence,
Yes, Grandma.
what you doing with that lighted candle?
It's for Cricket.
I told you to stay in bed.
I put it in the window for him. It'll help him find the house.
Florence, you're ill.
Here, dear. Let me tuck you in bed.
Listen, he's lost.
Child, that's a neighbor's dog, Mr. Hitchford. That's not Cricket.
Oh, yes, Anna. I know his voice anywhere.
Please keep covered until the doctor gets here.
But I'm so warm. My head's burning.
I'll take her temperature.
I'm on fire like he was. Why doesn't he come?
Florence, please. You'll feel better when the doctor gets here.
Oh, this in your mouth, dear.
Is my hair burning, Grandma?
It's the fever. Keep the covers on, dear.
Are the covers to smother the fire, Grandma?
Yes, dear. Keep them on.
Why doesn't he come? I'm burning.
Oh, what's keeping the doctor?
The robot raid. He's probably got his hands full someplace. Here. Let's look at the let's look at the thermometer. Let me have it, dear.
Shh, I think she's asleep.
Yes, poor child. Mrs. Edney, it's almost 103.
Good heavens. Listen, they're getting closer. What'll we do? We can't move Florence with a fever like this. It may be pneumonia.
Oh, don't get excited.
He's crying because I'm burning like he did.
Shouldn't I close the window? There's a wind coming up.
Oh, no, Anna. I want to listen for him. I want him to see the candle so he can come home.
All right. Try to sleep, dear.
Is he coming? Why doesn't he come? Why doesn't he?
We've got to get that fever down. I'll go and get some aspirin.
I'll go with you and get another blanket.
Oh, if the doctor would only come.
Cricket? Is that you, Cricket? Oh, if they could only see you now, they'd believe me. Why have you come back, Cricket? Don't run away, Cricket. Here, Cricket. Oh, why? Why can I see you this time? I've never been able to see you before. Oh, don't run away. I'll help you. Oh, now I'll have to follow you. And Grandma told me to stay in bed. Oh, wait for me, Cricket. I'm coming. Wait for me.
Hurry, Anna. Look at the smoke. That's never happened before.
It's coming from upstairs.
Quick, Florence.
It's Florence's bedroom. Oh, the curtains are burning. The candle she put in the window.
Where's Florence?
Look in the bathroom. I can beat these flames out with a rug.
Florence!
Look! Oh, there's a handkerchief on the windowsill.
She must have climbed down the trellis.
Oh, dear. I can't see her out there. She couldn't be out in this cold.
She must be. Come, Anna. We'll go out the front way. We've got to find her.
We will. Let's try the knoll back of the house where she used to walk him.
Florence! We've got to find her, Anna. Listen.
As long as you can hear them robot motors, we don't have to worry. It's only when they stop. Look! Just coming over the knoll!
It's Florence. Oh, thank heaven. Oh, Florence. Oh, darling, you shouldn't have come out like this.
I had to. I saved him. He might have burned to death.
Would you like me to carry her?
No, thank you. It's not far.
I put the flames out with my blanket, like he did, and now I don't burn anymore either.
Florence.
Mrs. Edney, feel her head.
What do you mean?
The fever's gone.
How?
I don't know.
Anna! The bomb! It stopped. It's overhead.
Fall to the ground, Mrs. Edney.
Anna, are you all right?
Yes. And Florence?
She's all right. I can't see the house. Was it?
It must have hit directly on top of it. There's nothing. Nothing left of your house.
Are you all right over there?
Yes.
That was a bad one.
Oh, Mr. Hitchford.
Oh, it's you, Anna. Thank heavens. I thought maybe you were in the Edney place.
This is Mrs. Edney. Mr. Hitchford.
Oh, I'm sorry about your home, Mrs. Edney.
Oh, thank you.
We got our place, too.
Oh, was anyone hurt?
Oh, no. Our dog disappeared just before the attack, and we were out hunting for him. I guess if it hadn't been for him, we'd have all been killed. Was there anyone hurt at your place, Mrs. Edney?
No, we were hunting the dog, too. Was your dog an Irish setter, Mr. Hitchford?
Yes, he was. But how did you know? We've been keeping him hidden.
And I knew his name, too.
Did you now? Well, what was it?
Cricket.
Why, that's remarkable. Remarkable, Florence.
I just can't... What you saying, Mr. Hitchford? Was that really your dog's name?
It was indeed. That's very remarkable of you to know, Florence. I thought there was only one dog in the world named Cricket.
There is. I mean, there was.
And so closes Cricket, in which Roma Wines have brought you Miss Margaret O'Brien and Dame May Whitty as co-stars of tonight's study in Suspense.
Before our stars return to the microphone, let me say a word for Roma Wines, the sponsor of Suspense. Here's a brief message from that noted authority on smart and pleasurable entertaining, Elsa Maxwell.
Most of the parties I'm giving these days are simple affairs. And when I entertain, I always serve well-chilled Roma California sherry before dinner and later in the evening. You'll find that glorious amber golden Roma sherry is a gracious touch that's sure to get the meal off to a good start and adds to the evening's pleasure. And don't worry about fancy glasses. It's the wine that's important. So be sure it's that good Roma wine, because Roma wines are so reasonably priced, any family can afford to serve them regularly.
Yes, Roma wines cost only pennies a glass, so enjoy them often. Serve Roma with your everyday meals. Roma wine is delicious, for Roma quality never varies. Remember, more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. R-O-M-A, Roma wines. And the next time you use vermouth, either sweet or dry, choose Roma vermouth. Zestful, full-flavored, blended, mellowed, and developed with all the traditional quality wine-making skill of Roma wineries, yet surprisingly low-priced. Try Roma vermouth soon, won't you?
This is May Whitty. It's always a very great pleasure to be invited to act on Suspense, which we all consider to be radio's outstanding theater of thrills. It was an especially an exciting privilege to play tonight opposite this amazing little girl, Margaret Bryan. Have you anything to say, Margaret?
Thank you. This has been the most delightful experience of my whole entire life.
Suspense is produced, edited, and directed by William Spear. Margaret O'Brien appears through the courtesy of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer and is currently being seen in their production, Music for Millions. Next Thursday, same time, Roma Wines will bring you Mr. Lloyd Nolan as star of Suspense.
Presented by Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
That's our Strange Tale for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. You can find a lot more from Suspense, Strange Tales, thousands of other old-time radio shows at relicradio.com. Our Shoutcast stream is up and running there, and you can donate through the website. If you'd like to help support this and all of the shows, give that donate button a click or visit donate.relicradio.com. Your support keeps this show coming every week. Thanks to those who have helped out. Thanks for joining me today. Talk again next Sunday with another episode of Relic Radio's Strange Tales.